Now, before you go on any cross country, you've done a lot of calculating, but it's a great idea to verify those calculations as soon as possible after takeoff. What you really want to know is, are conditions as you plan them to be? If not, you'll need to start working on changing your plan, and that's habit number 2. Now, what you do after takeoff is you use your first checkpoints to figure out your ground speed and fuel consumption. And if you can handle the workload, whip out your whiz wheel, you know, the E6B computer, and calculate your ground speed, estimated time of arrival, and fuel consumption, and compare it to your pre-flight calculations. On the other hand, if you're struggling to keep this airplane in control, apply a little Kentucky windage. For instance, let's say on a cross-country trip you have a 10-minute leg and you arrive at your checkpoint 1 minute late. And let's assume your next leg is a 20-minute leg. Now, how late will you arrive at that next checkpoint if everything stays the same? And the answer is you'd now be 2 minutes late. Well, you can figure this out in your head without using a computer, and that's called Kentucky windage, and it's very handy. Now, you can do the same thing with fuel. You had a 10% increase in your flight time, so you'll have a 10% increase in your fuel consumption. Now, if you can afford a 10% increase in fuel consumption and land at your destination and still be okay on fuel, you're all right to press on. So that's Kentucky windage, and it's very, very handy. Now, even if you're using Kentucky windage, write things down. That's what these spaces on the log sheet are for. So even with using Kentucky windage, write things down. Now, keep your chart out while you're doing this and fold it to show your course. And always be aware of alternative landing sites along your path. That's habit number 1. Always have an alternative. Now, if unexpected weather, fuel consumption, or some other problem does lead you to change your plan, take a minute to think through the consequences of the change. That's habit number 3. Now, if you're diverting because of weather, consider the current weather at both the airport you're diverting to and along the route you'll take. Is it good enough? Or is there another available alternate with better weather?